Well, the kids might be heading back to class, but today we have a pop quiz for you. We'll find out how much you know about retirement planning today. We have 5 questions we're going to throw your way. So let's get started. Welcome in to Dollars with Dennis. I am Ben George with Dennis Hoare, Faith 401k and Money Management. Glad to have you with us here on the show. Dennis, a little pop quiz today. Were you ever a fan of pop quizzes back when you were in school?
Never. Didn't like any quizzes. Pop or prepared, it didn't matter.
Yeah, it didn't matter. Not a fan of those. Well, we got one today we're going to throw out. And what we're going to do is we're going to ask the question. We have multiple choice to make it a little bit easier for everyone. We'll let you follow along, try to give your guess, and Dennis will give us the answer, but also just share a little insight into each one of these questions. These are all good financial planning, just general knowledge, some good things to understand and know about planning, and hopefully you get a 5 out of 5. So we'll see. But if you have any questions for Dennis, again, always can get in touch at 401k.faith. All of the contact info is in the show description below. And please hit subscribe. All right, Dennis, let's jump in. Number 1 here. So what age can you receive full Social Security benefits if you are born after 1960? Is it 59 and a half, 62, 65, or 67? All right, Dennis, what's the answer?
We're going to go with D, 67. That's the easy choice, and it's critical that you know the age of birth, 1960, because it's different for different ages, for sure.
What's most important about that full retirement age as it relates to planning?
Yes, so if you're still working, you can collect your full Social Security and not pay taxes or worry about the income tax on income that you're working for. It gives you ability to take your benefit and not lose tax money.
All right, very good. So 67. And then how, just kind of generally speaking, how do you help somebody get to that decision on when they should claim, early or late, or at that full retirement age?
My answer is always the same. We need a plan.
Yeah.
So having a retirement plan is critical. Getting the right data, the right information together. When we do a plan, we will always look at Social Security maximization. What's the best age for that client to do it, and based on all the other factors that they have in there, their income, their age, their lifestyle, those kind of things all play a part. So having a good written plan that you can update every year is critical.
All right. On number 2 here. So what is the maximum annual contribution limit for traditional or a Roth IRA for individuals aged 50 and older in 2025? Is it $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, or $9,000? Dennis, what's our answer?
We're going to say C, $8,000 here in 2025. It tends to change a little bit every year. So right now we're at the $8,000 level, and it will continue to etch up year by year.
And that gives people that are a little bit older, a little closer to retirement, a chance to save a little bit more, right?
It does. And if you're in a 401k or 403b, those limits are higher, and there's a catch-up provision there as well. So the average 401k maximum, I think, is 23.5 right now, and the catch-up provision, if you're 50 or older, is $7,500. So you can do $30,500 in a year. And then we have a new rule this year, I think, the Secure Act 2.0, that if you're 61 to 63, you can actually do a little bit more than that. So lots of numbers to remember, but when in doubt, call a professional and find out for sure what your maximum is.
Yeah, very good. So that's important to understand that. All right, number 3, here's your question. Which type of retirement account requires you to take required minimum distributions, or RMDs? Is it a brokerage account, 401k, an HSA, the health savings account, or a Roth 401k? All right, Dennis, what's the answer?
So 401k slash IRA. So if it's a 401k or IRA, either one, currently the required minimum distribution starts at age 73. That will change over the next few years as well. Eventually be 75, but for the next few years, we're going to be people turning 73 will start their required minimum distribution in the 401k, unless they're still working and they're not a key employee at the company. They can continue to put into the 401k and not do an RMD until they quit working.
And how far out should people start doing their planning for RMDs, Dennis?
For RMDs, when they do the retirement plan, we talked a few minutes ago about having a plan that will definitely tell us when, where, and how, and what money we want to use first, second, third, and fourth. So having a plan in place will help dictate that. But you want to be able to do your RMDs when the time comes and know what you're going to do with that money. So really, you don't have to take the money and spend it. You can just take it, pay taxes on it, and redeploy it somewhere else, depending on your plan and your situation.
All right, very good. Well, again, goes back to planning. If you want to begin that planning process with Dennis and the team there at Faith 401k and Money Management, just log on 401k.faith. All right, to question number 4 here. What does the 4% rule refer to in retirement planning? Is it the maximum percentage you can contribute to a 401k? Is it a tax on high income retirees? Is it a suggested annual withdrawal rate from your retirement portfolio? Or is it the penalty for early withdrawal from a Roth IRA? All right, Dennis, what's the answer for number 4?
Yeah, so we're going to go with the suggested annual withdrawal rate. Although in a previous episode, we talked about the 4% rule maybe got redone this past year by the gentleman who did the first 4% rule in his theories. He tweaked the numbers a little bit with our aging, he added a little bit more equity to the scenario there and moved it to 4.3%. So if you're on a tight budget for retirement, 4.3% even looks better than a 4% withdrawal. But in general, if you're growing money more than 4% and only taking 4%, you should not ever run out of money. That's our motto.
Yeah. And the key word there, obviously, is suggested. So you want to have a plan to figure out exactly what your retirement income plan is going to be in retirement. And again, if you want to go back and watch that previous video, you'll find it here on the channel. So check that out. We'll drop a link to that video as well to go into that withdrawal rate percentage and the changes that have been made to that. All right, number 5 here. What is a financial risk many retirees face? Is it outliving their money, paying too much in taxes, miscalculating healthcare costs, being overexposed to risk in the market, or all of the above? All right, Dennis, what do we got?
That is definitely all of the above. Everything affects the retirement plan. Getting a good plan in place is important. There's tons of resources out there from Social Security, from health savings accounts and stuff. And I think probably one of the easy one to overlook is the healthcare cost in retirement. There's a big number. You can go through it. There's some calculators you can go through and look at and put in your health, your living style, your health conditions, stuff like that, and help project those costs. But it is a bigger number than most people think it is. We encourage you having a written plan, get it in place, and be able to adjust that plan every year to suit your needs and meet the current trends going on. But they're all factors in just derailing your retirement.
All right. Well, hopefully you got 5 out of 5, perfect score, hopefully. But as you can see, right, the more you study, the more you understand about retirement planning and how everything works together, the more chance you have for a successful retirement. And again, the good news is you don't have to do this alone, right? There's always help out there. Faith 401k, Money Management, Dennis and the team there. Been in business 30 years or more. You've been doing this, Dennis, I think. So if you have questions, want to begin that planning process, you're getting close to retirement, know, hey, I need to start mapping out some of this stuff. Again, get in touch, 401k.faith. All the contact info is in the show description. All right, Dennis, appreciate the pop quiz. Thanks for taking us through that.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Securities and investment advisory services offered through Osaic Wealth, Inc., member FINRA SIPC. Osaic Wealth is separately owned, and other entities and/or marketing names, products, or services referenced here are independent of Osaic Wealth.